Hello guys, what's up? This is Teacher Danny. Welcome to my channel. Today we have another English video. We are going to start simple past versus continuous past, especially the actions we did in the past, that is these tense, and the other is the actions that we were doing in a moment of the past. Alright? So let's start analyzing some differences according to both topics, but especially according to the time expressions and the grammar. Let's start with the grammar. In the simple past, we have positive sentences like I listened to a strange sound. Yo escuché un extraño sonido. The negative sentence is she didn't buy the paper and the glue. We can change this by nor the glue too. Okay, ella no compró el papel ni el pegamento. The question example could be, did you know koalas are from Australia? ¿Sabías que los koalas son de Australia? Also, we have two ways for answering in a short way. The first one is yes, I did, that means sí, and no, I didn't, that means no. Remember that this is the minimum form or the minimum way or the minimum answer. Okay, so it is not correct if you say only yes or only no. Let's analyze the grammar of the continuous past. Remember that in this tense we use the to be past, was and were, and also the verb with ing. So you need to be careful with all the conjugations and all the spelling rules according to this issue, to this topic. For example, the CBC. Okay, so the positive example in here is I was studying English at home. Yo estaba estudiando inglés en casa. The negative sentence is she was flirting to the shopkeeper. Ella estaba coqueteando con el tendero. The question in this tense is, were you reading about that? Remember that we write first the to be, after the subject, and then the verb with ing. Okay? ¿Estabas leyendo acerca de eso? So, as in the simple past, we have two different ways for expressing the short answer. So we can say, yes, I was, that means sí, or no, I wasn't, that means no. Okay, so now we are going to study the time expressions, the differences. In simple past, we find or we use expressions like yesterday, ayer, the day before yesterday, antier, last week, la semana pasada, last month, el mes pasado, last year, el año pasado, time ago, hace tiempo, the other day, el otro día, and a long time ago, hace mucho tiempo. In continuous past, we use some expressions like during, on, when, and while. They are the most important, when and while. Okay? So now, let's analyze other differences, but according to the usage. Simple past versus continuous past. According to the simple past, we have that it is a completed action at the specified time in past. Okay? So the second is ordered events with before and after. The third characteristic is cause effect with when or after. It is also used for narrative stories or situations, and also that the simple past interrupts a continuous action in progressive, so it interrupts this action. Let's analyze the characteristics of the continuous past. The continuous past is a long or incomplete action in the past. Also, it is a long action at the exact moment when you're speaking or you are referring to, and this is interrupted by a short action. This short action is in simple past. Okay? The continuous past is also to describe the context in which an action is developed. Okay? So you can start using continuous past for setting the context of any story. Also, the continuous past is to refer to simultaneous actions. Alright? For example, when my mother was washing, while my mother was washing the plates, my father was watching TV. Okay? Mientras mi mamá lavaba los platos, mi papá estaba mirando televisión. So they are two simultaneous actions. So let's continue with the other characteristic, and this is about the graphic of the tenses. Okay, so we have, this is the timeline. Okay, it could be the present line. So we have two actions, the number one and the number two. The action number 1 is a past continuous sentence and it was occurring between 6:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Okay, so we have it. I was eating dinner. Yo estaba cenando, so it was happening in this time. And the time was continuing. But suddenly, he called me. This action interrupts this action, this first action. And the action that interrupts is in simple past. Okay, so as you can see, the difference in the time, I didn't finish to have dinner when this person called me. Okay, so we have that the simple past sentence interrupts generally the continuous past sentence. So we have the example in here. I was eating dinner when he called me last night. Yo estaba cenando cuando él me llamó anoche. Also, we can express the same sentence in a different way by changing. Okay, so we have it. When he called me last night, coma, this is really important, I was eating dinner. Cuando él me llamó anoche, yo estaba cenando. Now, let's analyze the usage of when, cuando, and while, mientras. We have another example in here, another graphic. This is the same timeline. We have present, past, and future. Okay, the red line represents the continuous past action, and the blue X represents the simple past action, or the action that interrupts. So we have the continuous action, that is, I was doing my homework. Yo estaba haciendo mi tarea. Okay, but I didn't finish to do my homework when the telephone rang. Okay, the telephone rang is the action that interrupts in the middle, or here, interrupts the normal action. Okay, so doing my homework is a long period action. This is the continuous action. Telephone rang, el teléfono sonó, is a short period action, or the action that interrupts other actions. We have an example in here or about how to use while and how to use when in a sentence when we use it at the beginning. Okay, so while at the beginning. While I was doing my homework, coma, the telephone rang. Mientras estaba haciendo mi tarea, el teléfono sonó. Now let's analyze the usage of when at the beginning. When the telephone rang, I was doing my homework. The second form of the verb rang, okay? Ring, excuse me. So, cuando el teléfono sonó, estaba haciendo mi tarea. Okay, so they are the differences according to the usage. When you start with while, the next sentence is continuous past. When you start with when, the next sentence should be in simple past. Now I have a tip, an interesting tip for you about how to use while and when you have or when you're gonna use it in the middle of two sentences. Okay, so simple past while continuous past. Simpa while compa. Okay, but according to when, you have continuous past when simple past. Compa when simpa. Okay, so you can memorize it in this way. And now, my friends, I have an example for you about the usage of simple past and continuous past. This is an example named gap filling, el llenar espacios. So you need to complete these sentences with the correct form of the verb according to the context. Okay, remember that this is about simple past and continuous past, the versus exercise. So I watch TV when the phone rang. Okay, so if we remember the last issue, the tip, we said that when we use when in the middle, we start with, let's remember again. So when the last one is continuous past and then is simple past. So we come back. So it is I was watching TV when the telephone or when the phone rang. Okay, estaba viendo TV o televisión cuando el teléfono sonó. Okay, down. Exercise number 2. Last night at 7 p.m. I have dinner. So this is a specific time in the past. So I use continuous past. So I was having dinner. Okay, because they are expressing in a specific time. Nice. Let's check this in this way. Okay, Exercise number 3. While she do her homework, her brother play football. Okay, so in this case, we have the usage of while, but we analyze that they are two different situations. A woman is doing homework and a boy or a man is playing football. Okay, so they are different, they are independent. So taking in mind that they are independent, we use continuous past in both. So while she was doing her homework, her brother was playing football. Okay, so why don't we use the simple past? Because they are independent actions, or the one action does not interfere or interrupt the other. Okay, let's analyze the number 4. They run by the forest when suddenly, cuando de repente, when suddenly they fall. Okay, so we have the same exercise than the first one. So the number 1 is in continuous past. Yeah, so they were running. Take in mind, my friends, that we duplicate the final consonant in the verb run, and this is the CVC rule, okay, before to add the ing. So we write running with double N. So they were running by the forest when suddenly they, the verb fall, caer, so the simple past is fell. Okay, so this is the answer. They were running by the forest when suddenly they fell. Point. Number 5. The falcons look the prey while they fly over the pastures. So in this context we have while. So this is the opposite of the last exercise and the opposite of the number 1. So the first one is simple past when we use while. Remember. So while, the last one is simple past and then continuous past. So they looked, because this is a regular verb. They look at the prey. Correct this. The falcons looked at the prey while they were flying. While they were flying over the pastures. Okay, so they are some examples that you can review, you can analyze others and practice at home, writing or creating stories in the past. So that's all by the moment, my friends. Thanks for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, write in the comments, give me a thumbs up, and see you in another video. Goodbye.